against the conviction. Hong Kong's air pollution hit dangerous levels again today. The air pollution index was around 200 in Causeway Bay and Central. An Environmental Protection Department spokesman blamed stagnant weather for the high readings, saying pollutants, especially from cars, could not disperse in time. Pollution levels are expected to remain high this weekend. Emily Su, ATV News.
Turning overseas, China has called for calm and restraint after Pyongyang scrapped all non-aggression pacts with Seoul, raising tensions on the Korean peninsula. The move came after China joined other members of the UN Security Council to impose more sanctions on the North for carrying out a nuclear test. And recent reports.
North Korea has raised the stakes as it defies the UN, which wants it to end its nuclear program. State TV today showed pictures of its young leader Kim Jong-un visiting frontline troops. And the state news agency said today that Pyongyang is tearing up all its non-aggression accords that have been in force since the 1953 armistice that ended hostilities in the Korean War. The North also shut down the emergency hotline with Seoul. The developments are seen as alarming in Seoul. Foreign Ministry spokesman Kim Min-suk warned that the Kim Jong-un regime will vanish from the earth if it attacks the south. The heightened tensions come after the UN Security Council imposed new, tougher sanctions to punish Pyongyang for an underground nuclear test last month, just 2 months after a controversial rocket launch. What probably angered Pyongyang was that the UN resolution had the full support of China, which has finally run out of patience with its longtime ally.
We want to see full implementation of the resolution. The top priority now is to diffuse the tension, bring down the heat, focus on diplomatic track, and bring the situation back on the track of diplomacy.
The sanctions include blocking the transfer of funds to and from Pyongyang and tightening rules that would enable ports around the world to stop and check North Korean vessels deemed to be carrying suspicious cargo.
North Korea must wake up from its delusion of becoming a nuclear weapon state, and make the right choice. The biggest victim from its nuclear pursuit and provocation will be none other than North Korea itself.
Washington, meanwhile, has brushed aside threats by Pyongyang to launch a preemptive nuclear strike on the US.
This kind of bellicose rhetoric from the DPRK is not surprising. It's not new. This regime has regularly missed the opportunity to improve its relationship with the outside world.
US troops are currently taking part in military exercises with South Korean forces near Seoul. Those drills and the UN action apparently provoked North Korea to take the drastic steps that are keeping the Korean peninsula on a knife edge.
Sport news. English football is awash with rumours that star striker Wayne Rooney will be sold this summer after reportedly falling out with Manchester United manager Alex Ferguson. The speculation increased after he was left out of the starting lineup in what's being called United's biggest game this season. ATV's Raymond Joe reports.
Wayne Rooney was mobbed by the media as he left his home to train with teammates. But tongues are wagging after he appeared only as a late substitute for Manchester United in their Champions League clash with Real Madrid earlier this week. United lost the second leg fixture and crashed out of Europe's top football competition. So United fans are wondering whether their idol is on his way out following a reported row with manager Alex Ferguson, and stiff competition from fellow striker Robin van Persie, who's been prolific in front of goal since he joined the club this season. Rooney has been a favourite with United fans since moving to Old Trafford in 2004.
I think he's a fantastic player. He's done a lot for the club over the years. He's won the Premier League for us, Champions League, but it's just in the back of the mind of what Fergie did with David Beckham when he left Beckham on the bench a couple of years ago. He then went to Madrid.
He has done a lot of things for this club. He has scored a lot of important goals and we know what he's capable of.
All eyes will now be on United's next match. They host Chelsea in the FA Cup quarter-finals on Sunday. Should Rooney be missing from the starting lineup, fans will probably see his omission as another sign that his time at Old Trafford is drawing to a close.
Who wants to be a ref? There'll be few takers if referees are subjected to the disgraceful treatment given out to a football official in Lebanon.
It was a second division match in Lebanon, but it had all the drama of a game in more prominent leagues. It all began when referee Bashir Awasa booked a player from the Al Nada club. But instead of accepting his punishment, the player chased the referee, who then brandished the red, raising emotions to boiling point. Club officials, who should have known better, joined the disgruntled players in confronting Awasa, forcing him to run for his life. The referee, it appeared, had more energy than some players, but even he soon ran out of steam. He fell to the ground and was attacked by players and officials. The incident has shocked the Lebanese soccer world, and it's likely that Al Nada will be severely disciplined. As for the referee, well, he's decided that enough is enough, and he's hanging up his boots for good.
A quick look at some of finance news now. Local shares rose 1.4% today with an unexpected surge in mainland exports. The Hang Seng Index climbed 320 points to end at 23,091. Trading volume was $72 billion. The benchmark was also boosted by growth-sensitive counters thanks to strength on Wall Street. Now let's have a look at today's most active stocks. Not looking at today's most active stocks. Moving on to overseas now. The U.S. unemployment rate dropped to a 4-year low of 7.7% last month. Let's see how that's affecting Wall Street. The Dow Jones is up 12 points at 14,341. On to European markets. The London FTSE is up 22 points at 6,461. The Frankfurt DAX up 28 points at 7,968. And in Paris, the CAC is trading 36 points higher at 3,829. Here's a look at US dollar cross rates. 129 to the euro, 149 to the British pound, and 95, nearly 96 Japanese yen to the greenback. Here's the weather forecast for the next few days. Fine and dry, but polluted tomorrow, and temperatures between 18 and 27 degrees. More of the same on Sunday and into next week. Now the world weather.